All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Abhishek Mukhopadhyay and with me is Subhadra Ramachandran. The headlines. Home and Corporation Minister Amit Shah to inaugurate National Conference of Rural Cooperative Banks in New Delhi today. Corbavax to be available as COVID booster dose at vaccination centers from today. India and UK conclude fifth round of talks on free trade agreement, deal likely by October this year. India expresses concern over shelling near Ukraine's Zaporozhye nuclear plant. UN Secretary General calls for immediate end to all military activity around the nuclear power plant. Latvia and Estonia withdraw from a cooperation group between China and over a dozen Central and Eastern European countries. 43-day-long annual Amarnath Yatra concludes in Jammu and Kashmir. More than 3 lakh people take part in the pilgrimage. First Khelo India Women's Hockey League Under-16 to be held in New Delhi from 16 to 23rd of this month. And BCCI clears skipper KL Rahul to play an upcoming 3-match ODI series in Zimbabwe. Union Home and Corporation Minister Amit Shah will inaugurate the day-long National Conference of Rural Cooperative Banks in New Delhi today. The conference is organized by the Ministry of Cooperation and the National Federation of State Cooperative Banks, NAFSCOB. The Corporation Minister will also present performance awards to select state cooperative banks, District Central Cooperative Banks or PACS. He will also felicitate a few short-term cooperative credit institutions for 100 years of service. Union Minister of State for Cooperation B.L. Verma will address the valedictory session of the conference. Secretary, Ministry of Cooperation Gyanesh Kumar, Chairman of NAFSCOB Konduru Ravinder Rao and MD of NAFSCOB Bhima Subramaniam will also be present in the conference. The short-term cooperative credit structure in India comprises 34 state cooperative banks, 351 district central cooperative banks and 96,575 PACS. Minister of Education, Skill Development and Entrepreneurship Dharmendra Pradhan and Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports Anurag Thakur will address the Yuva Samvad India at 2047 at Akashvani Bhavan in New Delhi today. Minister of State for Youth Affairs and Sports Nishit Pramanik will also grace the event. Around 400 youth, including National Youth Awardees and youth delegates, will participate in the event. The youth delegates were sent by the Sports Ministry to various countries as a part of international youth delegations. This event will provide an opportunity to the youth to express their views on various issues of national and international importance. The event will also provide them a platform to connect with each other and share their thoughts. Motivational speakers and youth icons will also grace the ceremony of the Yuva Samvad and share with the youth their vision for a resurgent India.
Corbavax will be available as COVID booster dose at vaccination centers from today. Corbavax is heterologous vaccine which can be administered to those who took either Covaxin or Covishield as first 2 doses. Health Ministry has approved Corbavax as booster dose under emergency use authorization on recommendations of COVID-19 Working Group of National Technical Advisory Group on Immunization. Talking to AIR News, Chairman of COVID Task Force N.K. Arora said the precaution dose will be available through CoWIN portal from today.
Now, anybody who has got 2 primary doses of either Covaxin or Covishield can get Corbavax as a precaution dose, which will further strengthen the immune status and body fighting capability against COVID. Corbavax is a completely made in India vaccine, and scientific evidence has shown that the body's immune production becomes really robust after getting a precaution dose with Corbavax.
Biological E, the maker of the vaccine, said it has delivered 10 crore doses of the vaccine to the center so far. It is expected to be available as a booster dose through the CoWIN app in public and private vaccination centers from today. The price of Corbavax for private vaccination centers is 250 rupees inclusive of GST. For the end user, the price has been fixed at 400 rupees, including taxes and administrative charges. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed 207 crore 45 lakh mark. More than 14 lakh vaccine doses were administered yesterday. The Union Health Ministry said that the cumulative first dose of COVID vaccine have been administered to over 102 crore 11 lakh and second dose have been administered to more than 93 crore 71 lakh. The ministry said over 11 crore 61 lakh precaution doses have been administered in the country so far. A total of 2,726 new cases of coronavirus infection were reported in the national capital yesterday. Delhi government said during the last 24 hours, 2,885 people recovered and 6 deaths were reported in the city. Presently, the total number of active cases in the national capital is 8,840. Yesterday, the Delhi government made wearing of face masks mandatory in public places to contain the spread of coronavirus. Those found violating the rules will be liable to pay a fine of 500 rupees. However, it will not be applicable to those travelling in a private car.
Senior Trinamool Congress leader Anubrata Mondal was sent to CBI custody yesterday for 10 days by a special CBI court. He was arrested in the morning in connection with the cattle smuggling case. He was produced before the special court in Asansol, which sent him to the CBI custody till the 20th of this month. He was arrested from his house in Bolpur in West Bengal, taken to a guest house in Shitalpur, Khushki, West Bardhaman yesterday afternoon. India and the United Kingdom are working intensively to conclude talks on a free trade agreement FTA by the end of October this year. Minister of Commerce and Industry said India and the UK concluded the 5th round of talks for an FTA on the 29th of last month. In the 5th round of negotiations, technical experts from both the sides came together to discuss 15 policy areas. Presently, India is engaged in FTA negotiations with some of its trading partners, including the European Union, Canada, and Israel.
India has expressed concern over the reports of shelling near the fuel storage facility of Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant in Ukraine as the Russian military operations entered nearly 6 months. Addressing a UNSC briefing, India's permanent representative to the United Nations, Ruchira Kamboj, said, "We call for mutual restraint so as not to endanger the safety and security of nuclear facilities."
India attaches high importance to ensuring the safety and security of these facilities, as any accident involving nuclear facilities could potentially have serious consequences for public health and the environment. We also accord high priority to the discharge by the International Atomic Energy Agency of its safeguards and monitoring activities in accordance with its statute in an effective, non-discriminatory and efficient manner, and we value the efforts of the agency in this regard.
This statement comes after Ukraine accused Russia of shelling the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant again yesterday. Ms. Kamboj said that they are following the developments regarding the safety and security of Ukraine's nuclear power reactors and facilities. She said India attaches high importance to ensure the safety and security of nuclear facilities, as any accident involving nuclear facilities could potentially have severe consequences for public health and the environment.
United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has called for an immediate end to all military activity around Europe's largest nuclear power plant in southeastern Ukraine. He issued the statement hours before a UN Security Council meeting, as Russian and Ukrainian officials have repeatedly accused each other of shelling the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. In a statement, UN Secretary General said, regrettably, instead of de-escalation, there have been reports of further deeply worrying escalations. He added, if continued, it could lead to disaster. Mr. Guterres said urgent agreement is needed at a technical level on a safe perimeter of demilitarization to ensure safety of the area. Russia took over the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant in early March, stationing troops there and keeping the Ukrainian staff in place to run it. There has been shelling around the plant since Friday, which Ukraine and Russia blame on each other. Ukraine said the reactors were not damaged, but there was damage elsewhere on the site. A team from International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, has been trying to get safety guarantees in order to deploy a technical mission to check the site. Latvia and Estonia have withdrawn from the cooperation group between China and over a dozen Central and Eastern European countries. The move comes amid Western criticism towards China over escalating military pressure on Taiwan. Relations between Lithuania and China worsened after the former allowed Taiwan to open a de facto embassy late last year. Both Latvia and Estonia said they will continue to work towards constructive and pragmatic relations with China while respecting the rules-based international order and human rights. Latvia's foreign ministry said the country's continued participation in the China group was no longer in line with the strategic objectives in the current international environment. Bulgaria, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Greece, Hungary, Poland, Romania, Slovakia and Slovenia among the countries that remain in the cooperation format.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Home and Cooperation Minister Amit Shah to inaugurate National Conference of Rural Cooperative Banks in New Delhi today. Corbevax to be available as COVID booster dose at vaccination centres from today. India and UK conclude the 5th round of talks on free trade agreement, deal likely by October this year. India expresses concern over shelling near Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. UN Secretary General calls for immediate end to all military activity around the nuclear power plant. Latvia and Estonia withdraw from cooperation group between China and over a dozen Central and Eastern European countries. 43-day-long annual Amarnath Yatra concludes in Jammu and Kashmir. More than 3 lakh people take part in the pilgrimage. The first Khelo India Women's Hockey League Under-16 to be held in New Delhi from the 16th to 23rd of this month. And BCCI clears skipper KL Rahul to play in upcoming 3-match ODI series in Zimbabwe. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
बर्फ से ढके पहाड़,
हवा के साथ झूमते चीड़ चिनार,
झीलों पर तैरते शिकारे,
हरी भरी घाटियों के दिलकश नजारे।
आकाशवाणी समाचार आपके लिए लेकर आया है जम्मू कश्मीर विशेष श्रृंखला एक नई सुबह।
हम बात करते हैं विकास की, निवेश की,
पर्यटन की, संस्कृति की
और रोज हो रहे बदलावों की। FM गोल्ड पर सुनिए हर शुक्रवार रात 9:15 पर आकाशवाणी समाचार की विशेष प्रस्तुति
जम्मू कश्मीर एक नई सुबह।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
Welcome back. You're listening to the morning news. The annual Amarnath Yatra concluded in Jammu and Kashmir yesterday. Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha said more than 3 lakh people took part in this year's pilgrimage. The 43-day-long Yatra commenced on June 30th from both Pahalgam and Baltal routes. Barring a cloudburst, the Yatra passed off peacefully. This year's Yatra witnessed improved facilities for pilgrims. For the first time, every pilgrim was given a radio frequency identification card to help track the movement. The RFID tags proved beneficial in tracking pilgrims after the cloudburst. The Yatra was held this year after a gap of 2 years. Raksha Bandhan, the festival of special bond between brothers and sisters, has been celebrated across the country for the second day today. It was also celebrated yesterday in many parts of the country. On this occasion, sisters tie colorful rakhi around the wrist of their brothers and pray for their prosperity, health and well-being. In return, brothers pledge to protect and support their sisters and present them gifts.
India Post has sold more than 1 crore national flags through post offices as well as online to citizens within a span of just 10 days. The Department of Post has taken Har Ghar Tiranga campaign to every citizen of the country with its network of 1,50,000 post offices. These flags have been sold by the department at a very economical price of 25 rupees. For online sale, the department has provided free doorstep delivery to any address across the country. More than 1.75 lakh flags have been purchased online by the citizens through the e-post office facility. The sale of the national flag through post offices is open till 15th of August. Citizens can visit the nearest post offices or the e-post office and obtain their national flag and become a part of Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. They can also take a selfie with the flag and upload it on www.harghartiranga.com and register their participation. Prime Minister Narendra Modi yesterday noted people's enthusiastic participation in the Har Ghar Tiranga Abhiyan. In a tweet he said, "This spirit symbolizes the country's unity and integrity." Mr. Modi said this spirit will take India to a new height in Amrit Kal. The Prime Minister also shared a video where he interacted with youngsters on Raksha Bandhan and gave them the tricolour. He said it was an unforgettable Raksha Bandhan for him. Mr. Modi said every Indian has a special bond with the Tiranga.
In Rajasthan, more than 1 crore school students will create a record by singing the national anthem at the same time today under the Har Ghar Tiranga Abhiyan. This program will take place in more than 1 lakh government and private schools of the state. More from a correspondent.
The program will start at 10:15 a.m. when the students will sing the Rashtra Geet together. After this, 4 patriotic songs will be sung. The program will end with the national anthem. The state level function will be organized at Savai Man Stadium in Jaipur, where Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot will also be present along with the students. District level officials and in-charge ministers will take part in district level functions. Common people will also be participate in these programs. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Amarnath Thakur and Culture Minister G. Kishan Reddy will attend the grand finale of Bare Chalo in New Delhi today. Ministry of Culture has organized Bare Chalo program under the aegis of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav since the 5th of this month. After 7 days of power-packed performances across 70 cities of India, it will culminate with a grand finale at the Tal Katora Stadium this evening. Bare Chalo is a youth-centric activation to instill a deeper sense of love for the country amongst young hearts. This finale will be a spectacular star-studded event with performances by Indian idols Pawandeep Rajan and Arunita Kanjilal.
To commemorate the 150th birth anniversary of Maharishi Aurobindo and celebrate the 75th year of India's independence, the Ministry of Culture is organizing a spiritual programs in 75 prisons across the nation. The program, being held from today till the 15th of August, aims to commemorate the life and philosophy of Sri Aurobindo. The purpose of these programs is to transform the lives of prison inmates through inculcation of the philosophy of Sri Aurobindo and by the practice of yoga and meditation. The Ministry of Culture has identified 75 prisons across the nation, primarily keeping in mind their association with the national freedom struggle, where these programs shall take place. It has partnered with notable spiritual leaders and organizations for the purpose. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that there is a need for the transformation of life of inmates of jails through self-thinking and realization. He said prisons all across the country should organize programs on the life of Maharishi Aurobindo to enable the inmates to embark upon a new journey of life. And now let's listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव। India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember freedom fighter Bandhu Singh Srinath, who was martyred on the 12th of August, 1857. He participated in the First War of Independence against the British in the Gorakhpur area of Uttar Pradesh.
Bandhu Singh was born on the 1st of May 1833 in the erstwhile Dumri Riyasat, now in Uttar Pradesh. He used to fight the British with guerrilla war technique. There is a saying that he used to sacrifice heads of enemies in the Tarkulla Devi temple. He was arrested by the British and hanged publicly at Alinagar Chauraha in Gorakhpur on the 12th of August 1857.
It is said that the hangman was unable to hang him 7 times due to breaking of the rope by the grace of Tarkulla Devi. It was successful only the 8th time when Bandhu Singh prayed to Tarkulla Devi.
A memorial to honor Shaheed Bandhu Singh has been built near the temple of Tarkulla Devi near Chauri Chaura, Uttar Pradesh. Every year, people join in a fair at the temple and remember the brave son of the soil, Bandhu Singh. AIR salutes the great freedom fighter.
We also remember Ajmer, who participated in the First War of Independence in 1857. Ajmer organized a group of independence activists during the uprising and led it to fight the British at different places in the Bombay Presidency. He was captured by the British in the course of their attacks and put on trial for aiding and abetting the rebellion against the British.
Ajmer was sentenced to imprisonment for 10 years with hard labor in irons and transported to the Andaman Islands, where he died in detention on the 12th of August 1859. AIR News salutes the brave son of the soil.
We also remember nationalist Balwant Singh alias Banta Singh, who was executed on the 12th of August 1915, a resident of Sangwal, Jalandhar, Punjab. Balwant Singh took part in the Ghadar Party activities against British rule. In 1914, he formed a group of revolutionaries among the returning emigrants and was involved in 2 raids in Jalandhar during December 1914 and January 1915. His house was searched by the police and a large quantity of revolutionary literature recovered.
He led the attack against the military guard at Amritsar and Nangal Kalan in Punjab. He was arrested in July 1915 and executed on the 12th of August 1915. AIR News salutes the brave.
We remember independence activist Balbhim Khataukar, who was born on the 12th of August 1900 at village Pusesauli, district Satara, Maharashtra. The Gandhian slogan of "Do or Die" during the Quit India movement inspired Balbhim Khataukar to join the independence struggle in Khatau Taluka, Satara. On the 9th of September 1942, he joined a demonstration of more than 2,000 under the leadership of Parshuram Gharge.
Singing patriotic songs and shouting nationalist slogans, it marched on to hoist the tricolour Congress flag on the Vaduz Kacheri building.
The marchers were stopped by the police officials and on refusal to disperse, they were fired upon. The firing resulted in the death of 9 persons and Balbhim Khataukar was one among them. We salute the brave martyrs. We also remember Quit India student activist Lal Padamdhar Singh from district Rewa, Madhya Pradesh. As a student leader of Allahabad University, he led a protest rally during the Quit India movement in Allahabad on the 12th of August 1942.
The protesting students were fired upon by the British police that day. In the indiscriminate police firing, Lal Padamdhar Singh lost his life on the spot at the age of 21. AIR News salutes the brave martyr.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
अब
हर घर की छत पर शान से फहरेगा तिरंगा, गुनगुनाए जाएंगे नव विकास के गीत, आन बान शान का प्रतीक राष्ट्रध्वज तिरंगा। आइए आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के पावन अवसर पर इस स्वाधीनता दिवस हर घर फहराते हैं तिरंगा और लेते हैं भव्य और सशक्त भारत के निर्माण का संकल्प।
आइए हर घर फहराएं तिरंगा।
The first Khelo India Women's Hockey League Under-16 will be held in New Delhi between the 16th and 23rd of this month. According to the Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, a total of 16 teams from across the country are participating. A total of 56 matches will be played at the Major Dhyan Chand Stadium, and over 300 players will compete in the Phase 1 of the league. The Sports Authority of India has allocated a total of 53.72 lakh rupees for 3 phases of the competition, which includes prize money of 15.5 lakh rupees. The matches are scheduled to start at 6:30 a.m. each day, with the final match scheduled at 5 p.m. 19th of this month is kept as the rest day. Board of Control for Cricket in India (BCCI) has cleared KL Rahul to play in the upcoming 3-match ODI series in Zimbabwe. All India Senior Selection Committee has appointed him the captain of the side and named Shikhar Dhawan as his deputy. Earlier, Dhawan was supposed to lead the side touring Zimbabwe. Opener Rahul has missed the entire series between India and the West Indies after testing positive for COVID-19. Senior players like Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli, Rishabh Pant, Shreyas Iyer, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Shami have been rested for the series. The series is set to start from the 18th of this month and will go on till the 22nd of this month.
According to new research, the Arctic has formed nearly 4 times faster than the rest of the planet over the last 40 years. This is much faster than the previous estimates by the UN's Climate Science Panel in 2019. At that time, it said the region was warming by more than double the global average due to a process known as Arctic amplification, or the intense warming in the Arctic. However, researchers from the Finnish Meteorological Institute found in a study that the pace of the temperature increased around the North Pole in recent decades. It was 4 times higher than the rest of the planet.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. National capital Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Hyderabad and Bangalore will also have generally cloudy sky with light rain. Guwahati, Shillong, Kohima, Aizawl, Gangtok, Imphal and Itanagar will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Hindustan Times in its front page carries a photograph of President Draupadi Murmu greeting Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar after he took oath. The caption about the photo reads, "Dhankar takes oath as Vice President." Business line quoting Supreme Court writes, "Freebies, welfare schemes are like chalk and cheese," while Business Standard quotes Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman as saying, "Education and health are no freebies." India-Bangladesh agreed to reinforce military exercises, reports the Tribune. China blocking blacklisting of Pakistan Ultra and UNSC exposes its double standard, says India, notes the Pioneer. IRCTC boasts revenue with cooked meals, writes the Financial Express. Your life will be a source of inspiration, says Modi in an emotional letter to Naidu, informs the Statesman. And finally in football, Real Madrid clinches 5th Super Cup. Well, the Hindu writes that Alaba and Benzema on target as the Spanish giant downs Eintracht Frankfurt 2-0.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Home and Corporation Minister Amit Shah to inaugurate National Conference of Rural Cooperative Banks in New Delhi today. Corbavax will be available as COVID booster dose at vaccination centres from today. India and UK conclude 5th round of talks on free trade agreement deal, likely by October this year. India expresses concern over shelling near Ukraine's Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant. UN Secretary General calls for immediate end to all military activity around the nuclear power plant. Latvia and Estonia withdraw from a cooperation group between China and over a dozen Central and Eastern European countries. 43-day-long annual Amarnath Yatra concludes in Jammu and Kashmir. More than 3 lakh people take part in the pilgrimage. First Khelo India Women's Hockey League Under-16 to be held in New Delhi from 16th to the 23rd of this month. And BCCI clears skipper KL Rahul to play an upcoming 3-match ODI series in Zimbabwe. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.